Don't rub the lamp if you don't want the genie to come out. Have you ever heard that phrase? Yeah, in terms of watches here in TMP, you know what I'm talking about. Do watch reviews. All right, here they are. I actually enjoy it. I really do. I enjoy researching watches, ones I like that I think you'll like too. Going out and testing them, getting some data, bringing them to tabletop, doing the review. It's fun. It's a nice break from other core content here in TMP. Knives, guns. Yeah, I get fatigued in that line. You guys know that. I've said it for years. It's good taking a break. And watches are versatile. Like I said in other videos, WRVs, they can go with me on any activity. I can't take an AR-15 in the Zodiac out in California, for instance. I can't a watch. It can come along. Part of the adventure, and it's fun reviewing them. In the last year, since I've been doing the watch show as a subset here in the project, I've met you guys and I've really paid attention. I always have, but I'm really paying attention now of what you're wearing. What do you think the most popular watch with TMPers is overall? What would you say? Nope, it is not the field watches. It's not dress watches, it's not dive watches, and it's not any form of smartwatch that I've seen. It is, big surprise, high value Casio watches. That's what it is. And so with that in mind, I click around and I will intersperse some high value Casios for your consideration. That's my job. Gear Adventure Channel, still doing it. And that's why I'm bringing to tabletop right now, testing complete, the very excellent, highly recommended Hall of Fame Casio STL-S100H. That's the orange version. I also have a blue version right here. Check this one. Ultra good looking watches. High value. Both are 30 bucks. 30 bucks for these watches. I get the vibe that most guys in TMP are not watch guys. They're more practical dudes and they want to use their money for other things besides watches. That being said, some of you guys are establishing some high value watch collections where you can kind of rotate through them just like you would a knife. Here's a TMP coated Delica. Oops, I turned my light off. Like that. So you have some high value knives. You'll cycle them through is what I'm trying to say in your EDC carry. Do the same thing with watches and get back to me. It's fun. It's fun. They're like the shoes for dudes. I'm going to start off with this watch right here. I mean, both of them actually, but how they look. I really like the looks of each one. And each one of these, I got to read it, make sure I get it right. The STL-S100 has a different theme. Notice this one is not a black band, it's gray. It's tactical gray with orange highlights. And it's kind of has a fitness theme to it, a runner theme to it. And you'll see that kind of as we look through the features and some of, I don't know, the way that Casio decorates a watch. Orange highlights here. Also notice the theme is carried over in the lettering on the watch face and also the LCD screen in the back. Check that. And I want to look at the illumination on this one right now. Sometimes I forget to do that and have to do an inset. Also very cool. Great illumination. Selectable from 1 to 3 seconds. Here comes the one on the right. Same coloration. You might have thought this one would be blue, right? Hey, that's going to be blue. It's a $30 watch. No, and I don't know how visible blue would be. Good lume on it. User selectable once again. And notice this one is not gray. It's black case, black band, resin band both, with blue highlights. Sky light blue highlights. I love both of these colors. They're just cool. I think it's available in a black version as well. Pure black if you're using it for duty wear. Just something to think about. Not technically a G-Shock watch, because it's not labeled a G-Shock and it doesn't sell itself as like a hard wearing watch per se. But I think of it kind of as a G-Shock watch. This is why. The bezel kind of rises up and protects the crystal. In wearing this, I did not put a crystal protector on and I don't really have any scratches on it. Albeit I don't wear it that frequently. It's in a rotation with a lot of other watches. You know, I only have so many hours in each day. Only have so many adventures to go on. But I think it's a rugged watch. You put a crystal protector on it of your own making, which is very easy and, you know, serviceable to do. then I think you'd be just fine. It's kind of a G-Shock watch then. Very cool. Let's look at the back. I think this one has a sticker on it. This one, I think, does too. I've done multiple watch reviews, so I'm trying to remember. It is module number 3625, if you can see that. It's a 4-screw case back, if that's important to you. Anytime I see 4 screws back here with a Casio watch, and when and if the battery runs out, I'll explain why I'm saying if. I would have a watchmaker replace it for me, because there's a little tiny O-ring around here, and if it isn't put back in exactly perfect, probably a new O-ring is needed. You're going to have water leakage. This is rated to 100 meters. Some stabilizers under this resin strap right here. Ventilated area right here. Resin clasp with a single keeper. I wish I had double keepers. I find the retention is moderate, not great. Medium sweat factor on this. Bang factor is about medium as well. It's kind of a thicker watch. Let's see where I put my ruler. We'll take a measurement super quick. I would call it about 12 millimeters thick, maybe a little bit under, 11.5. So that's not too bad, but it's super light. You saw it on the case back with my data, right? Freaking 1.8 ounces for this sucker. That's lightweight. So great legibility too. Now I'm going to really hammer this home, and then we'll get to the core feature of this and why I think it's such a Hall of Fame watch for its cost. But look at how big the numerals are. Easy to read. Bigger than a lot of other Casios, a lot of other Armatrons, a lot of other knockoffs. And there are some good knockoff watches on Casios that are great watches. I'm not even kidding you. There's a ton of great watches out there. But I love the presentation on it. So we have the day, Friday. Again, it's color coordinated with your color of choice. Orange here, blue here. Always visible. We don't have to press a button to see it. Even on a Pro Trek, I think, well, we got it here. Here's that pink Pro Trek again. It's right there. But you don't have all that information. You don't have like 2017, the month there. You just have day and date, basically. So that's what I'm saying. You have a full presentation on this watch. Very excellent. I just love it. So I'll give an A to its legibility and just its overall presentation. But can you figure out what the main selling point and the main attraction to me, other than its looks and cost, are by looking at the watch? If you said solar powered, you are correct. It's right here. And also, using the infidel for this one, boom, check that. So we have a battery indicator right here. So this is reading high. This was reading high because I put them both in the sun today. Incidentally, both were not in the sun for the last 2 months after a full charge, and they were still running. That's pretty excellent, right? So this is a battery that will last. I will just take a stab for 10 years before you'd have to replace it. And if you're wearing it frequently and charging it frequently, it may go longer than that. I don't know. You know, go ask the owl once again, like the old Tootsie Roll commercial. He'll tell you. I love the fact that these $30 great looking Casio watches are solar powered. Phenomenal, man. Totally phenomenal. And they have the features you'll need most. So they're basic features, and we'll go through them super quick. One I'm just going to skip through because I don't think anyone cares about it. There's your stopwatch feature, and you'll see the little running man right there. This is what I'm talking about, how it kind of has a fitness focus, has a lap counter, hundredths of a second. So this is a fitness-oriented watch. I did meet a dude the other day, and yes, he was a TMPer. He says, yeah, I like hundredths of a second in my stopwatch function. I was like, dude, why? What do you need? Where you need to know hundredths of a second? I forget his answer. There's a split, and then the stop reset will be right here, I think. There you go. Now, there's some other functions I'm not going to discuss. Just get in the manual for the module and you'll see it. There's a record function, record function, not covering that. Time remaining, I just have it set to 10 minutes. Pretty simple. And I think there's more than one time remaining. I'm sorry, I said 10 minutes, 10 seconds. Which is cool. I mean, then you can play hot potato with the kids at 15 seconds. World time. That's another selling point to this watch. I love world time. The only thing you won't get with this module, 32, what was it, 3225, is dual slewable. So we're only going to go in one direction. You can't go backwards. So I go to Mexican time zone, and then Denver, and then that'll take me to LA. All the while you have year, month, and day in the bottom of the screen all the way through. There's your alarm. There's what it sounds like. Pretty standard with alarms, so you have multiple alarms you can use. You have a snooze function, which some of you guys really love. And then you have a signal function that you can use as well. I'm trying to figure out how to turn it. I think it's right there. There you go. Upper right will turn on the signal. I hate that. I don't like the signal on my Casios. I freaking hate it. I just don't do it at all. And that's it. So there's your feature. So no ABC functions. We wouldn't expect it for $30. It doesn't sync to any atomic clock, but for $30 you're getting a function I think is more important than atomic time syncing. That is solar powering in a very cool, tough format that's super lightweight. Great adventure watch for the money. Totally is. The only downsides I could really think of are that it doesn't have a double keeper on the band, but even that you could cure. You could just put a silicone one on yourself. They sell them on Amazon if you want. Done. My favorite version is probably this gray and orange one. I just really love it. Like that other Casio that I reviewed. Remember that one that had the gray and orange theme? I've seen some TMPers with that, shown it on camera. This is kind of along those lines. The blue is right there too. If that was gray and blue and not black and blue, I would just really dig it. I just like gray. Dark gray, kind of Star Wars gray. The GD350 I just posted a review on is like that. It's just phenomenal. Highly, highly recommended. Totally worth the money. Add it to your collection. This is model number Casio STL-S100H from the watch show in the Nutnfancy project.